Um, so tomorrow we have uh, a court situation. We have a demonstration on international law. And so any boys I want to pull up once again at Downey Courthouse, um, it'll be a good live demonstration to see court etiquette. Um, the whole demonstration, how you come in, special appearance, the whole nine. Uh, so I'm going to be going over once again my writ that I filed July 15th. All right. So any questions while I'm going through this measure, just let me know. But I am going to be a little interactive. I'm going to have somebody look up. Can somebody look up Title 28 CFR Section 50.5? And let's have a discussion about that. So that's one of the. That's right. That's one of my bullet points, amongst others. But if somebody can look up 28 CFR sections 50.5. CFR stands for Code of Federal Regulations. Everybody got it?
You said CFR what, Moff?
28 CFR section 50.5. 28 CFR. That's 28 CFR section 50.5. It's computer about to die too. About one so far? Yeah, one. Yeah, 20 CFR section 50.5. You get the other computer out because someone's about to die. Tasha Machiel, peace and love.
Peace and love, Morris.
You said 5025, right, Moff?
Peace and love.
Section, yeah, 50.5, yep.
0.5. Okay, I think you said 0.25.
28 CFR.
Notification of consular officers upon the arrest of foreign nationals.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
Is that it?
Cardinal Law School. That's what I got, brother. Son, what you just read. I took a screenshot of it.
Oh, you already found it, Ben? Because I'm on the phone.
Yeah, what you just read. I just took a screenshot of, so we're on the same page of 28 CFR 50.5, notification of consular officers upon the arrest of foreign nationals. I put it in the Zoom chat, but that's what Mafi's speaking about, but I'm sure it is. Just honoring what Brother Hassan said. I yield though.
Okay. So now one of my bullet points for tomorrow, and this is how I styled my writ. The reason I did that and highlighted that because any non-US citizen is considered in their books a foreign national. Or temples, to us they just temples. In logic politics, to them they're called consulates. And think in language like that. So I'm setting the stage because also in my writ I have multiple exhibits. I have Library of Congress documents dealing with the treaty, House Resolution 75. I got my ID. I got laws that correspond to the nationality card that we went over multiple times, dealing with CRM 1508 that correspond to Title 18 United States Code, dealing with national ID being more superior than the corporate instruments. So I'm setting the tone with that. All right, so now can somebody look up 31 CFR section 595? And I'll keep repeating, just keep asking me. I know it's a lot. 31 CFR section 595.304. Can we get the other laptop loaded up? Yeah.
I want to say I got it, but it's foreign person 31 CFR. That's 59 4 304. But foreign person consent details. You was like 595.304.
Yeah, 595.304. Yep. But you in the right space because I'm dealing with foreign person.
Oh yeah, regulatory provisions, foreign person. Let me go down one more. That was
Okay. Yeah. So those between 28 and 31 Code of Federal Regulations.
yeah, foreign person. Basically, is go back to you not being identified as a U.S. citizen. You're foreign to the U.S. Corporation.
Right. Right. So all this is gonna sing a song in my. Remember, this is the main thing is dealing with my writ and bullet point principle that I'm gonna be talking about in open court, making my special appearance. And mind you, the writ was filed July 15th. So I'm there to see what's the update basically on why the case hasn't been dismissed. I haven't got no correspondence that the case is being dismissed. All right. And the proper venue. The venue is not proper. Since we're dealing with a foreign person or a non-U.S. citizen, the court, we're talking about a federal venue now, not the state of California.
Wow.
The state of California can't hear matters of diversity of citizenship, matters that are dealing with treaty matters, any treaty disputes.
They all referee.
All right.
So yeah, Part 595, terrorism sanction regulations. I was reading this 5.04 foreign person thing, dealing with the Treasury, because at the end of the day, they want some finance. They're like, oh, you broke our quote unquote rules. We're gonna need some federal notes. You're like, nah, that ain't what it is. Basically, because at the end of the day, they want finance. They were like trying to find a contract to get finance. Because I'm reading right here, it's like Title 31, money and finance from Treasury, and all this contract stuff is for them regulating, BS federal notes, what they call money.
Hey, so being that Moff is claimed his nationality, right? That court don't have jurisdiction over him or power over him. He has that shit has to go to the Supreme Court, correct?
That's what I answered.
That municipal court can't hear it. That's not the proper venue.
They really shouldn't even exist because the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land, and the municipalities that we domicile in. The laws got to be adjacent to that, which is the Constitution. But every single corporation has a different Constitution, quote unquote, the 14th Amendment stuff. So yeah, it's sticky.
Yeah, so most of the if you ever took a trip to these municipalities and you just didn't have nothing going on, and you just listen to the language, you're gonna see how it's people coming in there in flocks, voluntarily, and typically everything is about the license. I ever heard the magistrate say, "Oh, didn't you sign this?" This is your signature, right? On the back of the driver's license. And that's their main focal point. Is okay, yeah, you agreed to all this. So that's the contract. They're gonna try to find instruments that
Yeah,
link you to a contract where now it's like, okay, you said you okay with this. Right. So
and that's living off your birth. They're putting you, in a 14th Amendment jurisdiction, to leech off of you. So, no, I'm my own person. I ain't really break y'all rules. Our rules statutes aren't law. So it's like, get these statutes out of here. Let's deal with law. But putting, with the signing on the back, 14th Amendment, boom, now all these statutes apply to said person that signed it. You know what I mean? Which is like, the scene like
Okay.
foreign person. Like, bro's like, no, I'm a foreign person. I'm foreign. I'm separated from the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Ben or Moff, I got a question. Okay, pertaining to this case, right? We say we are Moors, and the most people who are not competent in this space will say, "What? You're from Morocco?" And they'll try to like put in the place that the Morocco and Africa is what we're trying to claim, and they don't know that this land that we're in right now is the modern day Morocco of the old. So what documentation or something can you take with you to prove that fact too? Because that's a very big factor in the situation. I know they're gonna try to throw a curveball and be like, yo, you ain't from Africa, what you talking about, types, you know what I'm saying, type thing. And I yield.
So yeah, in court, like all the exhibits that are attached to my filings are pertaining to that. So one of my exhibits, I got something from the Library of Congress that has wet ink signatures and their seals of the United States, stating that Moors are descendants from Moroccans, and they have the right to use El and Bay to signify their culture. We also have the treaty, which talks about and has the usual suspects, aka the founding fathers of the United States government, and how the position and the relationship with them and our Sultan, which shows who the home team is and who the foreigner would be at a time when the Kingdom of Morocco didn't exist, but it was still the Moroccan Empire, and the Moorish dominion was all the Americas. So these are part of my exhibits in court with the seals on it from the Library of Congress, which makes it a something that can be an exhibit in court because it has their wet ink signature and their seals. I got the originals. So to answer your question, that is going to lay a foundation of when I'm saying Morocco, we're talking about at a time where the kingdom didn't exist. And for open court, general people walking down the street, like right now, I'm pretty sure before this meeting is over, you might hear somebody come up to us, talk about the turban, the fez, this flag, and but yeah, that's the space that I would take them to make it not so spooky, because that's what happens is our people don't know history and law, so they confused because of the Reconstruction and the World War I, World War II Reconstruction. And that's what the point of all these things were for. But yeah, hopefully that answered your question, Brother Hassan. Congressional records, House resolutions, treaties, all that predate 1956. Pictures of the prophet. Remember the divine warning like last week, the picture in the divine warning, he at the office in the temple, he got the secretary behind him in a picture that was 1920. And you see what flags he got in the air. Let me just put this up because now that I'm reporting, repetition is key here. because it is a lot of information initially when you come across this info. But the bottom line, when you start seeing what's going on, is history and law. Knowing that together. Hopefully everybody can. Okay, yeah. So once again, 1928, this picture. And the reason why I like this picture, and I keep stressing this, even though we know in the 1700s, same flag was in the air being flown on American soil, our Moroccan soil, but this is 1928. This is before 1956 still, but it's still a lot closer to home. You know, we got great grandparents that was alive during this time. This ain't so spooky. But the flag was being flown in American soil. And this is before the Kingdom of Morocco, before King Hassan and the crew, before the French protectorate, and all these things. Noble Joe Ali was saying in the 101s for children, once again, in the 101s for children, Noble Joe Ali was saying from 1912 to 1928, Moorish Empire. Who's the heads of Moorish government? Moroccan government? Sultans. How is Noble Joe Ali waving the flags in a style that symbolizes the treaty? Home team on the left, away team on the right. Just like when you pull up to the basketball game. That's where they get the concept of the scoreboard. Home team on the left, away team on the right. All right, so hopefully that locked in a little bit. Any question statements on that space from anybody?
Appreciate that. Islam, I just wanted to make sure, you know what I'm saying, because I know they don't recognize us in the court of law. They don't recognize what we're trying to tell them, which already been out there, which is already truth. So yeah, I'm just trying to make sure you had something to back that up, because they will try to divert you that way. Islam.
And also the
Islam.
Temple of America is a legally chartered institution. You know what I mean? So if they want to talk that, it's like what we're doing. Noble Drew Ali set it up to where it's legal. You know what I mean? I know it's lawful and legal, but it's a legally chartered, you know, institution for us. So that's a staple. Even though they don't want to recognize it, you have to recognize law at some point. It's like, no, you know how things are set up legally to operate. Noble Drew Ali knew how to set up the Moorish Science Temple of America, where even if it went to the left, it was set up correctly, and you can't hate on that. You just have to know how it was set up. But just to...
If there's no other thoughts on that space, I'm gonna transition to other bullet points in my writ and my filing. All right, so people versus battle. People versus battle is a court case that elaborates on the fact that traffic infractions are not a crime. I'm going to bring that up. But this is just supplemental. This is just, if it gets to a spar, they're trying to spar with me intellectually, I'll get into that. The headliner is going to be the jurisdiction. There's not a proper venue. And then I'm just going, I'm feeding off what's in front of me. But I'm in control, though, because I'm controlling the narrative. There's nothing. And remember, you have the right to object. So that objection. That's whenever they're going off the rocker, Islam. Whenever they're going off the rocker, objection. Oh, you're gonna violate my constitutional rights? So basically, you saying the Constitution out the window. That's basically what you're telling me. Now, I'm not gonna say it like so flamboyant, but I'm gonna bring that up. And these are just tools you can use in open court to get them back, because they have to respond to that. Before the court start, they're talking about how they swear to the Constitution and all this. So that's the only reason boards come here pressing the Constitution, because the Constitution is linked to the treaty, Article 6, the Supremacy Clause. It's not really about the Constitution per se, because that is for them. But since they take an oath to it, they take an oath to everything in it. The Supremacy Clause is in it. we'll talk about treaties of the supreme right of law of the land. And also, we want to use a step against them too, Article 4, Section 1. Any public record, any case law, any judicial notice, House resolutions has the same footing as case law. So it's something that doesn't have to be re-argued. It's already been decided already that Moors are Aboriginal and indigenous to the land. It's already been decided already that treaties are the supreme law of the land. It's already been decided already that traffic infractions are not crimes. It's already been decided already that the state can't handle diversity of the citizenship. All right, so this is the mind frame of the ambassador when you in these foreign venues, is to have this type of mind state. You need to know this like it's second nature. Like I put in the book, like we know what Jordan did in Game 6. We know how many points he had. We need to know the stats of our culture. We need to know, you know what I'm saying? So that's where it's at. Let me continue here. So as an exhibit that corresponds to the CFRs that we looked over, in totality, you have from the Department of State. You know, the reason I like using the Department of State Consular Notification and Access Manual, they like to separate state and federal. Like, oh, the state and the federal are two different things. The state can interpret things the way the state has been granted a leash to interpret law a certain way. These are games they play. I know it sounds crazy, but I've heard judges talk like that. Just crazy. So we have to shut all that down intellectually. So the reason I like using the Department of State is because it's instructions for federal, state, and local law enforcement on how to deal with diversity of citizenship, essentially. Or they say foreign nationals. And in their manual, it talks about back to supremacy clause. So he talks about this space multiple times, but that's one of my exhibits. And then I got stuff highlighted with pertinent sections. Once again, repetition. In their manuals, it talks about it's a Q&A section, it's a Q&A, question and answers. Who is a foreign national? Anybody that's not a U.S. citizen. Is nationality and citizenship the same thing? Yes. The reason I like to highlight that is because if I'm telling you my nationality, instantly dissolves you being a U.S. citizen just by knowing that's in their questionnaire. This is in their stuff. All right. So all these are bullet points of how I'm setting the tone. And this was filed on the 15th. House resolutions are filed as exhibits on this particular case, quote unquote case. I got a House resolution stating that we Aboriginal indigenous to the land. I already spoke on the ID as far as CRM 1508, which is technically 18 United States Code Section 1028. And it talks about how the nationality card are superiors. I have a copy of my nationality card as well as an exhibit. As an exhibit. And whoever's doing filings at a later date, when you're filing different exhibits, just you have a cover page, separate each page, etc. Library of Congress documents as exhibits. I already went over those documents that I filed, but I'm just kind of going through the packet. Oh, Sundry Free Moors Act is a South Carolina congressional record. And we all should Islam. We all should know. All the Moors in here should know what that's about by now. It's a petition of multiple Moors stating that They have an alliance with the Treaty of Morocco. This was 1790. The treaty was in 1786. 4 years after the treaty, a fresh treaty, fresh sultan. Oh, fresh pilgrims that turned into the United States. We got the Sundry Free Moors Act during the same time period. You know, it was Moors that was just separating themselves and wanted to make clear that no, we're not Negroes, we're not colored folk. But we do have an alliance with a sultan, and we're not U.S. citizens, but we have a treaty with the U.S. citizens, and we're not subject to the state laws. And it was ruled upon just that. So these are all exhibits that I have in my particular filing. And these are the bullet points that I'm gonna be going over. Any statements, comments, questions on that?
No question, bro.
Okay. Um, I'm going to read the chapter from the 7, and then it'll be a short meeting today because I'm out here on the Merc and my computer's about to die. But I did want to give a short demonstration and let people know that we will be in court tomorrow, and to come fast, turbaned up. Whoever doesn't have the address, just let it be known that you don't know the address, and we'll make that happen. So this is chapter 34, holy instructions from the prophet, dealing with sincerity, being sincere. O thou who enamored with the beauty of truth, and has fixed thy heart the simplicity of her charms, hold fast thy fidelity to her, and forsake her not. The constancy or consistency of thy virtue shall crown thee with honor. The tongue of the sincere is rooted in heart. Hypocrisy, and deceit have no place in his words. He blushed at falsehood and is founded, but in speaking the truth, he have a steady eye. He supporteth as a man the dignity of his character. To the art of hypocrisy, he scorneth to the stoop. He is consistent with himself. He is never embarrassed. He hath courage enough for truth, but to lie he is afraid. He is far above the meanness of dissimulation. The words of his mouth are the thoughts of his heart. Yet with prudence and caution he opened his lips. He studieth what is right and speaketh with discretion. He advised with friendship. He reproveth with freedom. And whatsoever he promised shall surely be performed. But the heart of the hypocrite is hid in his breast. He maketh his words in the semblance of truth, while the business of his life is only to deceive. He laugheth in sorrow, he weepeth in joy, and the words of his mouth have no interpretation. He worketh in the dark as a mole, and fancieth he is safe, but he plundered into light, and is portrayed and exposed with dirt on his hands. He passeth his days of perpetual constraint. His tongue and heart are forever a variance. He laboreth for the character of a righteous man, and huggeth himself in the thoughts of his cunning. O fool, fool, the pains which thou takest to hide, what thou art are more than will make thee, what thou midst of sincerity, thy disguise is stripped off, and the finger of discretion, of derision, shall point thee to scorn. All right, so sincerity. Sincerity. When we start thinking about the Moors movement, how we gonna be successful in our endeavors, in our unity mission, things we trying to get back to. We trying to get back to the empire. We know that's not gonna happen overnight, but sincerity I have us trending in a direction that is good, right? Bonds of affection, uniting the people, getting communities together, centralizing finances, getting natural resources. That's what we're trying to do. Be competent ambassadors, so we can talk with the people and have us, have them join forces with us to do great work. Minaj, Rael, peace and love.
Peace, brother. Peace.
So once again, hold on, matter of fact, let me close out our prayer and I'll do a round for any miscellaneous questions or thoughts or statements. And once again, let friends and family know about the land trust that we're doing. Anybody want to donate to that? Let friends and family know what we're trying to do. We need a headquarters. We need a hub. We need something equivalent to what you see in Chinatown, Koreatown, Little Bangladesh. We need that for the Moors. Right here. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Nobishu Ali. Amen. Islam. And this particular meeting today was very unique in the sense that we out and about in the public. We out here being industrious with a Moorish business and pushing these watermelons, organic watermelons with the seeds, as well as conducting the temple meeting on the fly. But any thoughts on any type of space, questions? I know a couple people are in here that might have came in from what I put on my story. So I might not know you personally or whatnot, but you tapped in. So any type of thoughts on any type of space, put it out there. All right. So if nobody has any thoughts or statements on any level, once again, any Moors in the Khalifa territory, California, tomorrow in Downey Courthouse, we'll be doing an international law demonstration. And it'll be great for Moors to see that demonstration live in person. So it ain't no what he say, she say. You're gonna see the live demonstration from Moore's mouth, how to interact on the international law